You'll have to excuse me a minute. The lights are a bit bright. When I was a young man, I took Hashem, the King of the universe, blessed be he, very seriously. I took the study of his Torah very seriously. So, naturally, I took violations of his holy law very seriously. Unfortunately, I also took myself very seriously. And with him, that usually doesn't go down very well. There are many scriptures that I thought were written in support of me. The holy prophet Isaiah wrote, "In Galilee of the Gentiles, the people who walk in darkness will see a great light." Now, when it says the people, it does not mean the Gentiles themselves. It means the people of the Holy One who live among the Gentiles in Galilee. And when it says who live in darkness, it does not mean that there were so many clouds that the sun didn't shine. It means rather that they were in a spiritual darkness, the having departed from his holiness. And when it says, have seen a great light, what is that light but the heat and fire of his judgment upon them? As it says later in the same chapter, they were destined for burning, and they will be fuel for the fire. By the grace of the Holy Lord, who is forever blessed, I was called to be that judgment, to bring the light and fire to those in Galilee who blasphemed, who thought their crucified criminal leader equal to the one. But the holy prophet Amos wrote of the coming judgment, "Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord, for that day will be darkness, not light." Or both, Brother Amos, or both. For when I read the words of the great warrior David, your word is a lamp for my feet. It is a light for my path. And I thought I was on the side of King David, and that God was on our side. The old king knew better than that. And I should have too. The light for my feet, a lamp to my path. When that light appeared to me, Father David, it was so bright, so piercing, that I couldn't see the path anymore, or my feet. I was blinded for days. When this light shone, I thought I heard a voice, a presence with an aha as it searched me out and discovered me. It was a painful, harsh, blinding light. "Who are you, or what are you, sir?" I dared to ask. "I am Jesus," came back the dreadful reply, "whom you persecute." The very blaspheming Galilean who had caused all the trouble. I hated him and his people with their ungodly ways. By heaven, my anger burned so brightly. Or I thought I was burned with heat and light, but my anger was as nothing now, faced with this light. What I thought was holy, righteous anger seemed little more than an irritant, like an annoyance being poked at in the ribs when you're trying to sit quietly. And there was a smile in that blessed voice, for he said to me gently but irritatingly, "It's hard for you. when you kick against the goad, the cattle prod. And all my proud ideas, my career plans, my self-image came crashing down like a great big rickety house built on beach sand. And everything went dark. I could not see. My darkness brought on by light. But what did I know of light before this? What did I know of righteous anger? What of holiness or justice or love? Nothing. The greatest, the highest, the most noble achievement I had managed this far was to be irritated. To feel the Holy One, blessed be He, poking me in the ribs with his cattle prod, his irritant, Jesus. And instead of going where he wanted, I kicked out. Silly, educated, self-righteous, ineffectual man. Blind guides. That's what Jesus called us Pharisees. This Jesus who made the blind to see. Won't they both fall into a pit? My colleagues had to lead me now by the hand to the accommodation in Damascus. Straight street. Straight as the way was, I still blindly bumbled into things. It's hard for you to kick against the prodding. Jesus was an irritant, deliberately God's irritant, pushing me into the right way. Peter once told me a story about when he got it wrong. Jesus told him about the cross, and Peter tried to talk him out of it. You're too special, too precious to die, Peter had said. And Jesus got angry. Peter said it reminded him of a weird episode the week before. Jesus had healed a blind man, except like Peter, like me, he could see, but not clearly enough. Men looking like trees. The man needed more healing. Or Jesus. You can have ears to hear, but not hear, Jesus used to say. You can have eyes to see and still not see. But Jesus traveled to where the people were to heal them. He sought me out to blind me. Seek me out now, Jesus, and heal me. How had I missed the Son's resemblance to that of the Father? When our first parents sinned back in the garden, God did not stand apart and judge. He came back. He walked up and down in the garden asking awkward questions like, "Where are you?" And in our day, he did that again, walking up and down among us asking, "Where are you?" How did I miss it for so long? He came looking for us, calling us. And that's Jesus. And Jesus walks straight up to you, and he spits in your eyes. And then your eyes are opened. And you see for the very first time. Blessed be He, the King of the universe, the wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, the Prince of Peace, of whose governance there will be no end.